Hey, welcome back to the channel. Luke here, and today I'm going to be actually installing some BMS intakes on the Kia Stinger. Right now the project is down. The SRT4 has a fuel pump gone bad. I'll go into that a little bit more at the end of the video, but let's get right into installing the intakes. Alright, so I actually have the intakes over here, and I got these secondhand from somebody off Facebook, along with some floor mats. They seem to be in good condition. They're just some short rams, which is, from what I understand, all that's, I don't want to say required, but recommended whenever you go to map 3 along with changing spark plugs. So I got a good deal on all of it, so I figured I'd just throw them in. Looks pretty simple. It looks like they use the factory bolt locations because it did not come with any hardware. So we'll just get right to it. I know you start off with taking these, I guess they're kind of like strut braces, but actually don't go between the struts. Anyway, you take those off. I think they're 12mm bolts, and we'll get right to it. Alright, so that was pretty straightforward. Two 12mm bolts, comes right off. Now it looks like we've got 3 more bolts, if you can see it down in here. One right there, one right here, and one right there. Now it looks like this intake is actually going to go down to partially where the turbo is, but there's a small pipe that it's probably going to be hooked into. So I'm just going to take off this clamp and this hose and actually disconnect it right here, which is just another Phillips, or I think an 8mm if you use an 8mm. Okay, and as you can see at that point the whole air box came out, so it was just that bolt, and that bolt, and that bolt. And I disconnected that hose and that hose. This is where the bolts were. That's where that hose is, and that's where the intake is going to go into. I just kind of laid this in here to check the fitment, and it is true. So it looks like this is just going to go right in there. That nipple is going to go onto the hose, and the mounting brackets line up with the 2 of the factory spots right here. So pretty straightforward. Let's bolt it in. Alright guys, well, it couldn't have really gone much easier than that. Basically there's when you put this intake in, it's manufactured to where on this pipe or this factory pipe, there's actually like an inset where this pipe fits into it, or the factory pipe fits in, and it won't go any further. So you've got about a 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch where this pipe sits down in there, and you'll see it in the video. If you go back, I'll take a little screenshot and put it up on the screen what I'm talking about. So you can only push it in so far. So what I would do is push this in and actually tighten this part first before you bolt this, the other 2 spots, because it'll basically try to pull it out of there, and then you'll be fighting the bolts trying to get this side in. So I would do this side first. But outside of that, it takes a little bit of muscle to get this back on. Use a little dish soap, like a drop of dish soap, and rub it on the nipple there, and you know, start back a little further and push your way in, of course, with the hose clamp back here first. And then you've just got those other 2 bolts, that one right there and that one right there. Now I went ahead and put in the 3rd bolt just so when you go back to factory, if you need to, you know where the bolt is. But that's one side, and basically we're going to do the same thing for the other. Okay, now that I took the other side off, which was the same 3 bolts, I'll show you what I was talking about here. You can see this hose has like a inner diameter, and that's right where the intake sits is in between those 2 layers, and it's only, like I said, about 3/4 of an inch deep, so you can't go any further than that. But it's nice because it just gives you a kind of a template just to put it right in, but make sure you tighten this side first. Alright guys, so there's the passenger side installed. Cleaned it up a little bit. There you go, full picture. Good looking unit. Not bad for what it is. Super easy install. And now I'll put the cross member bars back on, or whatever you want to call them, strut braces. Alright guys, well there you have it, the full install with the BMS intakes. Super easy, looks good. I guess it picks up some horsepower once you have it tuned, which I do have the JB4 on it, and I'll be doing an install video on that at a later date, so stay tuned for that. Alright guys, so I figure I'll go take it for a ride and just see if there's any noticeable difference within maybe some noise or performance. Now I'm going to do a little bit of butt dyno, but I actually do have a Dragy. So if you're not familiar with the Dragy, it's a GPS-based performance device, and it's very accurate. A lot of people use it. And the cool thing is I've already done some baseline results depending on when you see this video. You might have already seen that video about the JB4, but I think it's going to be after this one. Anyway, so I'll compare it to some of my baseline in the actual program that I did I have actually the map 0, which is stock, and then the map 2, which I'm currently on. So as of right now, all I need to do is replace the spark plugs, and I'll be able to go to map 3. Not only is the spark plugs 2 steps colder, but you gap them a little bit lower to keep the spark from blowing out in the top end. So, and also I can mix in some E85 and have some fun. Anyway, I'm going to go out there right now and test it out. Stay tuned. Alright guys, so earlier I tested, when I was doing the tests, I was testing launch control on, launch control off, traction control on, power braking, not power braking. Anyway, so from my previous results, just from the stock form basically, the launch control seemed to get the best time, so that's just what I'm going to do. That way we can just keep it similar to my best times. So, got the Dragy going, reset, I'm going to turn off the air because I just did that the last time. And we're going to see what we can get out of this, if it's any different. Here we go. The sound right away, that was cool. Oh, you could even hear the blow off a little bit. Alright, that's cool. Just a little bit though, but that's cool, you know, because this is just a daily driver. I don't need to be going crazy, so. Oh wow, really? 4.5 guys, first time. Alright, that's definitely the best 0 to 60 ever, and it's 83 degrees outside right now, and the DA is 1800. So what I'll have to do, you know, it's hot, so I mean it's hot, the DA is not great, but that's how I tested it the last time. It was kind of hot outside, and so this is pretty accurate results. 4.5. I think the last one, if I'm not mistaken, was 4.8 was the best I got the last time. So let's just run that again. So what I heard was actually you could hear the turbo spool up and actually hear the blow off. You know, of course it's not necessarily a blow off valve, but when it goes to recirculate back into the intake, I guess you can just kind of hear some of that. So that was kind of cool. But off launch control, right as soon as you let off the brake, you can hear the turbo spool up. And maybe I'll try to mount the camera outside, just see if maybe you guys can hear it. That'd be kind of cool. So let me run this again. All right, got the Dragy set, air off. Here we go. All right, that's cool. It sounds like a spaceship taking off now, which is just neat. It's just enough, you know. It's not loud at all, but you can hear it on the inside. You know, if you had the radio on, you wouldn't be able to hear it. So that's pretty neat. Heck, if you had the air on, you might not be able to hear it too much, but let's check that one, see if we can get a similar time. Yeah, 4.7. So the only thing with this road is, yeah, all right. The only thing with this road is, I guess it's slightly about 1% sloped one way or the other, but it was a 4.7. So the last one was like 4.59, I think. So definitely some improvement. Even just a little bit from the last test. Let me look that up now. I'm going to turn on my air, and I'm going to go back to my previous times here. Yeah, 4.8, 4.8. All right, looks like I actually did manage a 4.6. Let me take a look at that one. Well, there's a 2.6 degree slope. DA was a little bit better, but the consistence before was 4.8. It just had 4.8, 4.6. There was a 4.64. I got a 4.59. So let me just try it again and see if I can get a little bit better here. All right, here we go. Let's put on the brake. Still puts a smile on my face. I honestly don't care if it does make any performance difference. It definitely sounds cooler. You know what's interesting is it doesn't really make a louder noise when you're on the throttle, that I can tell, but just the start up and then the let off makes a really cool sound. It's perfect. It's just not too loud, not too crazy. it's just right. And honestly, for just that, I'll be fine. Even though they do recommend that when you do go to map 3 that they want you to have at least intakes. So knock that one out at least. Let's take a look at the Dragy. 4.79. So did it really make any performance difference? You know, it's questionable. I'd say it's consistently lower, I guess. You know, we could always try it at night and see if we can get some a little bit better times. I think the more consistent number I was dealing with last time was 4.8, and this one's sticking closer to 4.6. You know, what we could try, I don't know if I actually did I did do quarter mile time, so we could try busting out a quarter mile real quick. Why not? You know, I got this road back here that's just great in Mexico, and there ain't nothing around but trees. So why not give it a shot? All right, guys, ready to go? Let's try the quarter. I think I did it right around 110, so I'll just keep an eye on my speed. What do we get here? 12.9. I think I have done something similar to that before. Yeah, it was 10. Oh, whoa, hang on. What am I looking at here? 1,000 foot. Quarter was 12.9 flat at 108. I think I've done 12.8 at 110. Quarter mile. 12.9, 13.1, 12.8, 12.85 at 109. I think that might have been the best run on this. 12.8 at 12.85 at 109. It's pretty similar. That was that same night. The DA was just a little bit better. We'll give it one more run and see what she does. All right, stop, reset the Dragy, and we'll give her a go again. 0 to 60 in this car is the most fun. It really is. I just had a little bit more on that top end, which I know you can do with some other mods, but I don't really plan to do that anytime soon. Well, that one felt pretty strong though. We'll see. Nope, worse. 13.2. I think I was going uphill that time. Yep. 13.2 at 107. So, you know, I'd say it's, as of right now, it's probably about the same, only for the simple fact that it's probably a little bit hotter and the DA is a little bit worse. But I'll give a thumbs up to the intakes, just the way they sound when the turbo spools up. I'm actually going to hit it real quick here, just from a roll, and see if it makes the same sound, I would assume, as long as you're not in boost. So if you can get a cool sound when the turbo spools up, hey, it's worth it. And if you're going to do future modifications, or even get the JB4 and move to a certain map, I'm sure you'll gain something, because they've got dyno results saying that the intakes actually do help when you tune it. So it'd be a good investment, I'm sure. So let me get on the boost here real quick and from a roll and just kind of see if it... Oh yeah. Yeah, it's definitely cool. So let me see if I can stick the camera on the outside and do just a couple quick pulls for you. guys, so as you can see, you can definitely hear it on the outside. I think that's cool. Put a smile on my face just for that purpose alone. So thumbs up for the intakes, even if it's just for the sound. You can definitely hear that going down the road if you're on the outside for sure. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Stick around for some more updates on the Stinger and my SRT4, which is down because of a fuel pump right now. Hopefully that'll be in later this week, and I'll have a video out on that, and hopefully that'll clear up all the issues on that car for at least right now. Anyway, thanks for sticking around. Like the video if you did, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you on the next one, guys.